As you go to sell your house, you may have some concerns about safety. The Washington Post reached out to me recently and asked me for some safety tips. What safety tips can sellers put into place to make sure they're safe and their home is safe while they go on the market? So that's what we're going to talk about today, safety tips as you go to sell your house. And we're starting right now.
I'm Sherri Green with Coldwell Banker. Welcome to my YouTube channel that guides home sellers and home buyers in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia.
Selling a home is an emotional experience for many reasons. There are a lot of things to think about and a lot of things to prepare for. And then if you're still living in your home and all of your belongings are still in your home, you could be concerned about safety. So what are my best tips for keeping your home safe and keeping you safe? That is what we're going to talk about in this video. The first step to make sure that everything is safe, you and your home, is to make sure that every buyer is escorted by a licensed real estate agent. There are a lot of times when people think that they can sell their home themselves, especially when we get into a market like today where homes are moving very quickly. And what you have to remember is if you go to put your home on the market, you now have to answer every phone call about your house. You now have to schedule every visitor into your home. And you now are opening your door to strangers. When you list your home with a real estate agent, they will ensure that everybody who comes through that door is escorted. And here's how. Buyers are not allowed to tour your house without their agent. Their agent will escort them in. They will use the central lockbox or a lockbox that your agent has put on the house to enter the home. If they use a central lock, that log of who has come in and gone out will be available to your agent. They'll know every agent who's gone into the house. And the buyers will be escorted around by their agent. Agents working with buyers should know them to some degree. They have probably worked with them long enough to find out what kind of a home they would like, what kind of a budget they should spend. They have worked with them to help them get pre-approved, and they have gone with them to tour homes together. There's a good chance they even rode together in each other's cars. It just helps with trying to park and get around and stay on schedule. So working with a licensed agent to place your home on the market will ensure that those coming in are also with a licensed agent. If you're selling your house yourself, now you're manning the front door. So you've got a licensed agent coming into the house with every single visitor. And if it's an open house, your agent is there or one of their partner agents from the brokerage, and they are watching every person come in and out of your house. So going along with those showings, and I mentioned it earlier, is a specific lockbox. The truth is your agent should be using what's called an industry-specific lockbox. In the District of Columbia and in Northern Virginia, it's called a central lock. In other jurisdictions, it's called a Supra. And there are probably other ones in different jurisdictions as well. The point of these industry-specific lockboxes is this. Every visitor gets logged in and every visitor gets logged out. So you know who's come into your house. If your agent puts a combination box on the front door and is just handing out the code, it's not as secure. Let's be honest. I have those combination boxes and I use them at my listings. They're great for pre-listing activities. You have a contractor coming in to paint. You have the junk removal guy coming in to take out the junk. You have an appraiser coming in before or some sort of inspection coming in before you put it on the open market. But once you go on the market with the MLS and you're going to have agent after agent and buyer after buyer coming in, you really want to know who's coming in. And a combination box does not record that. The only way to do that is with an industry-specific lockbox that records every visitor who logs into that box and gets the key to your house. Another step you should take as a homeowner is to put away anything of value. So part of that decluttering that your agent should talk to you about is hiding of things that are valuable. If you have jewelry or silver flatware or collections that are just extremely hard to replace, either emotionally or financially, put them away. Just put them out of sight and out of mind. There are things that you want to look at and you want to use, but the buyer's not there to see your collections. They are there to see the house. And things like that can even distract a buyer. Oh, look how beautiful their silver flatware is. I love Grand Baroque. How wonderful. They don't need to see it. They don't want to see it. So I would hide anything that could be of value just so that it's not drawing the attention of the buyer. I've seen sellers who have really exquisite artwork, signed pieces by the artist that they have invested in, also taken down and stored. And that's not a bad idea either. Now again, if you're having everyone come into your house with a licensed agent, it's going to be safe and secure as you go to put your house on the market. But it never hurts to hide some of these things that make your house very personal to you. Speaking of personal, the other thing you want to hide are any unmentionables. And that word can mean a lot of things. There are unmentionables we all have that are usually tucked into a drawer. Make sure that they are.
Unmentionables could also be political statements or other pieces of art that could offend someone.
Anything that could be perceived as controversial should be taken down, should be hidden out of sight. So let's say you have your house on the market and you have a sign in the front yard, and on a Sunday afternoon you're not having an open house, but somebody comes to the front door and knocks on the front door and wants to come in and tour your house. Now you've got a sign in the yard, so you're hopefully working with an agent to sell your house. And if you are, the first thing you should do is call your agent. Take the visitor's name, number, email address. If they're working with an agent, get that agent's name. And then thank them for coming by and tell them that your agent will be in touch with them. Immediately call your agent. Tell them who's popped by to see the house so that your agent can schedule an appointment with them at a time that works for you. What you don't want to do is just open the door to strangers who stop at your front door and ask to come in and see. Again, you want a real estate agent to vet that person, to confirm that they are serious in their purchase and that they are being escorted in by a licensed agent. So the last thing I want to talk about is cybersecurity. We've talked a lot about physical security, what's on the walls or sitting on your dresser that needs to be hidden. The last thing to remember is this, if you're going to sell your house, and especially if you're going to buy a house, is cybersecurity and wire fraud. Make sure that while you're under contract to sell or while you're under contract to purchase, if you get a request to wire funds, stop, don't wire anything until you call your agent and until you call the title company and confirm. It doesn't happen often, but it has happened. So make sure that you aren't wiring any money anywhere without getting a double and maybe even a triple confirmation from your title company, your title attorney, and or your real estate agent. What measures have you put in place when you went to sell your house? Did you use some of the safety tips that I've talked about in this video? Did you do something else? Leave me a note in the comments. I'd love to hear what your experience has been like selling your house and how you have kept yourself and your belongings safe. Are you new to my channel or you just haven't subscribed yet? Make sure you do. I post videos every week on the buying and the selling process and living in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia, and I'd love to have you come along.